Welcome to Namibia. Come join us on our photographic safari as we go in search of magical images. We're here with three highly talented photographers who are going to help guide us. Marco Grassi, the world-famous photographer, who we've traveled with before to Patagonia and the Dolomites.
Yeah. Welcome to Namibia.
And Jandre and Hougaard.
Hi, my name is Jandre Germishuizen.
And I'm Hougaard Malaan. We are from Go Gravel Photo Safaris. Welcome to Namibia.
Enjoy.
First stop is the Quiver Tree forest. Here we're going to focus on astrophotography. These beautiful prehistoric looking trees provide a great foreground.
Dinner is going to be quite a rushed story. We're going to give you like half an hour. We've told them, please just have everything ready so we can dish up and eat. And then we want to get back here, make sure we're back to our astro position.
You can mark the location so you can go back at night.
During the afternoon, we scout around to find interesting compositions, as it's really hard to do that in the black of night. We use an app called Photo Pills to figure out where the Milky Way and the galactic core will be at different times of the night. And then we use that to figure out the composition. I started with one quiver tree, but quickly realized that I wanted to frame the Milky Way in between two trees. And then I wanted a more general scene showing even more trees. After all that excitement, we're headed back to bed. The next morning, we're up early to catch the sunrise. I love the shot of Colin with his head torch. And I then got one of my favorite shots from the whole trip. Later that day, we left the quiver trees behind and set off for Kolmanskop.
Good morning!
There's a fair amount of driving, but always great scenery. And fun stops for food and gas.
As if you were waiting for another deep fried ice. Bring it on.
Then we catch a first glimpse of Kolmanskop. This was once a thriving diamond mining town, producing over 1 million carats every year. Then, as the diamonds ran out, the town was slowly abandoned, finally closing in 1956. The desert sand is slowly reclaiming the town, creating these otherworldly scenes. I was pretty skeptical about this part of the trip, as all the photos that I'd seen of the town made it look pretty uninspiring. Nothing about the outside of these buildings would make you excited about shooting here. But when you get inside the buildings, it suddenly becomes a lot more interesting. There are many buildings in Kolmanskop, so scouting out which rooms to shoot can be an overwhelming task. Fortunately, Hougaard knew the town well and helped us figure this out. Our first afternoon was really needed just to figure out where we wanted to shoot the next day. I soon realized that there was some serious fun to be had, with really interesting compositions and many lovely faded colors. Kolmanskop was working out to be a far better destination than I had first thought. After a quick dinner that night, we returned the next morning while it was still dark. Hougaard knew exactly where to go to take full advantage of this lovely light. Here are a couple of great images from Colin Thornton and one from Mike Brown. Getting into some of the rooms required squeezing through very tight spaces. But this particular room was really worthwhile as it had 4 doorways that could be aligned so each doorway framed the next doorway. This idea of using doorways as framing elements turned out to be a key theme for our compositions. My all-time favorite photographs from this trip were taken by Grassi and Mike Brown. These guys were just in a different class to the rest of us. Heading home that evening, we ran into a cyclist who was clearly enjoying the downhill run. And once in town, we had this amazing light. We got to enjoy our last dinner in Luderitz before setting off the next morning for Sossusvlei. Join us in part 2 as we travel to Sossusvlei and Deadvlei to photograph the world's largest sand dunes.